ilé-iṣẹ́ wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí láti ìkànnì wa tí ẹ ti mọ̀ bí ẹni mọ̀wó, tó ń pè ní Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to our doorsteps. Mo fi kíkí Elédùmarè, mo fi kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nílé lóko, ní gbogbo ibi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ wa, ní gbogbo ìgbà tí a bá ti ń jáde tí a mú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí ó ń jẹyọ nínú Nàìjíríà tí ó ń affect ìran Yorùbá. Ilé-iṣẹ́ yìí jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ilé-iṣẹ́ kan tí gbogbo yín gbọ́dọ̀ mọ bó ṣe ń lọ àti àwọn update. Tó ṣe pàtàkì náà ni pé ilé-iṣẹ́ yìí ṣì ní agbẹnusọ fún bàbá wa olóyè Dr. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Sunday Igboho. Mo fi kíkí gbogbo ohun tí ó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mo fi ń kí wa pé ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ dẹ̀ tún káàbọ̀, ní pẹ́. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti ṣe mọ̀ pé time kò sí púpọ̀ fún wa. So tá a bá ti ń jáde báyìí, kí a lè tètè mú nǹkan tí a wá sọ. But kí a tó máa sọ ohun tí a wá sọ, ní gbogbo ìgbà ni mo ní ẹ bá mi máa kí ìyá mi, a túbọ̀ máa dúpẹ́ fún àǹfààní pé ó gbé mi wá sílé ayé, fún àǹfààní tí mò ń jẹ lénìí, ọlá ìyá tí ó bí mi ni. Torí tí ìyá tó bí mi ò bá ṣe ohun tó tọ́, tó yẹ tí mo fi wá sílé ayé, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi lénìí, ó ṣeé ṣe kí a má láǹfààní àti gbọ́ra wa. Ó dẹ̀ ṣeé ṣe pé tí ìyá mi bá sọ pé ohun tí òun ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ kó tó di pé ọlọ́jọ́ dé ní last year November, ká tó ṣẹ́jú nísìn, á máa pé ọdún kan. Ìyá náà ó fọwọ́ sí ohun tí à ń ṣe, ó dẹ̀ support ẹ̀ morally, motherly, spiritually, and most importantly, financially. Ìyá mi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan tí ó jẹ́ backbone Koiki Media in terms of our financial resources, because ilé-iṣẹ́ yìí ó nídìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ resources láti lè jẹ́ kí ó tẹ̀síwájú. So k'Ọlọ́run má wá jẹ́ kí a máa struggle lẹ́yìn tí ìyá náà jáde láyé. Kí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ìyá náà kó túbọ̀ máa wẹ̀yìn ní gbogbo ìgbà láti lè jẹ́ kí ilé-iṣẹ́ yìí kó máa tẹ̀síwájú. So ìyẹn ni mo ṣe láti máa dúpẹ́ fún ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ. Torí pé tí ìyá mi bá sọ pé ohun tí mò ń ṣe òun ò faramọ́, ohun tí mo fẹ́ ṣe òun ò gbà kí n ṣe, mo rò pé ẹnìkan wà tí ó tún lè sọ pé kí n lọ máa ṣe. Torí pé bí mo ti ṣe sọ, ìyá yìí gangan ni òun ló dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbẹnusọ fún èmi kó tó di pé ikú dé. Ikú dẹ̀ kẹ̀ rèé, kò sí ohun tí a fẹ́ ṣe sí i. Láti ilé-iṣẹ́ wa náà ni a tún jọ ń fi gbóhùn ara wa láàárọ̀ yìí. Èní máa jẹ́ 23rd of May 2026. Látọ̀dọ̀ wa níbí báyìí, aago 6 kò ì tíì lù, ó ṣì ń kù díẹ̀ kí aago 6 kó lù. Aago 6 ó kù ìṣẹ́jú 10 ní London, níbi tí broadcast yìí ti jáde ní àárọ̀ Saturday. Torí ìdí tí a ṣe ń fi ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ time àti date so that the next generation wọ́n á mọ̀ pé àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n dìde tán nígbà tí oríṣiríṣi rògbòdìyàn tó ń lọ nínú Nàìjíríà. Lóòótọ́, ohun tólúkálukú máa ṣe ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. Ohun tí ilé-iṣẹ́ tiwa ń ṣe ó máa yàtọ̀ sí ilé-iṣẹ́ míì náà tí wọ́n ní àǹfààní àti lè gbé ọ̀rọ̀ jáde. So gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, àwa ìran ọmọ aládé. Ká tó máa wọnú agbami ètò lọ, mo ní iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa, ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga fálérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa. Ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga fálérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti ṣe bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ìtẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtohun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Èmi ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. I say good morning and welcome to the Koiki Media live transmission. We are live from our London studio this morning, and as usual, we would like to welcome each and every one of you that are live with us always. Please let us also remember, for the benefit of those that do not speak English, that this platform does not just represent the Yoruba people, it also represents each and every human being on the earth, whether in Africa. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent, whether in Asia, whether in Europe, or wherever they are. But also, it speaks directly to the sons and daughters of Yorubas, our children, our mothers, our fathers. This is your channel where you can always come back and relax that whatever you're hearing from this channel is the fact, is the truth, and nothing but the truth. Because we like to make sure that the truth is always something that this channel always endorse. We are not going to do anything that will bring any kind of issues, because in the past this particular channel has been tagged as one channel that doesn't have the interest of Nigeria, and also a channel that wants to destabilize Nigeria. Let me put it out there that that is a complete lie, and nothing but the lie that has been put together by some individuals to tag this channel as one channel that is against Nigeria. This channel does not promote anything more than the current situation of what has been happening in Nigeria for many decades, that has had great effect and impact on the lives of millions of our people, whether those that were born in the 50s that are currently also being affected, whether those that are just born of recently, whether those that are born in the 60s that witness what could have been the best of a regional government, as at the time when the British gave us an independent, whether those that are just born in the 70s, like myself, that have now woken up to realize that there is a problem, and that problem must be resolved before it gets out of hand. Whether those that are born in the 80s that have also started witnessing what those are witnessed in the 60s, in the 50s, 70s, or whether those that were born in the 90s that also believe that there will be a country called Nigeria that serves the interest of everyone, regardless of wherever you are across Nigeria. whether those that are just born in the year 2000, the Gen Z, that have decided that they will take advantage of the latest technology to empower themselves, to do so many things that many other countries' citizens are doing across the globe. But it seems they have been stopped, they have been restricted due to the situation and the insecurity that have ravaged Nigeria for a very long time. The insecurity of Nigeria did not start with this current administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in as much as we expect the government to do everything possibly best to protect, secure, not just the southwest of Nigeria, but also to protect every part of Nigeria as well. But for a very long time, so many things have happened, so many things have occurred across Nigeria when it comes to the security of Nigeria. The question is, who do we hold accountable for the ravaging insecurity that Nigeria is witnessing today and what Nigeria has witnessed in the past as well? There are many reasons why the country insecurity has become a big issue, not just for the current administration, but also for the citizens that have now had to endure the full effect of what we called insecurity ravaging Nigeria. So all we can pray for and all we can say is that we must not be, allow not to continue to work with the government of the day to secure not just Nigeria in the southwest part, but also humanity's sake, because humanity comes first, as they say. And when humanity is in danger, that means we are all likely to be in the same danger. Gbogbo tí mo kàn ń ṣàlàyé náà ni pé kò ń ṣe lénìí ni ọ̀rọ̀ security ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Kò ń ṣe President Tinubu ni a máa hold accountable alone fún the insecurity problem tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà. This has been many years of negligence or many years of an agenda by some element of people known as the Fulanis that want to ravage and make sure that they fulfill the agenda of what we called, the Islamization of Nigeria. So it might not be as many people will say it, but in tí a mọ̀ ni pé kò wá ń ṣe Fulani agenda nìkan ni ó ń bẹ lórílẹ̀ Nigeria. There is also an agenda of Igbo agenda as well. We know that because in as much as tí a bá ń dárúkọ Fulani, we should also remember pé àwọn Igbo náà ní agenda against the Yoruba people, because it was the Igbo people that destroyed the regional government that was given to every one of us in 1960, where we could have our own separate government, separate institution, separate laws, like the United States, where Texas law is different from the New York, Oregon is different from California, and so much and so forth. Each of us will have been able to work, within our region and still be as one unity Nigeria. But that was destroyed by the Igbos in 1966. That led to many coups, 8 different coups, Loshele. So every time that we are talking about Nigeria, we must also remember to talk about the Igbo agenda against the Yorubas, in as much as they will always say we are always a problem, but we know that there is an agenda. And until all these agenda stops, we are likely not to have a secure Yoruba land. And before we go into the discussion this morning, mo kí Professor Adebanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Group, which has a right to self-determination. Self-determination is not a crime. Self-determination can never be a crime. And asking for the right of a country out of a country does not mean we hate the country. We just want to secure. We want to live a life where, like any other citizens around the globe, are also enjoying. So do not misquote us by saying because we are demanding, asking for our right to self-determination means we don't like any other Nigerians. We are not like that. Akofeni, our own self-government, where we can dictate, direct, and make sure that everything that we are witnessing today in what is known as a one Nigeria will not happen in our own government. Even if it's not perfect, we will work with it and we will develop it, and eventually it will be perfect. And on that note, I continue to say, thank you so much for Professor Adebanji Akintoye for everything he has done and everything he's still doing to support the agenda of a Yoruba self-government. But before we have a Yoruba self-government, we are still in Nigeria, Ashiwano, Nigeria. So that means we will continue to advocate for everything to make sure that Yoruba land in the southwest of Nigeria is secured, is protected from the federal government to the state government to also the local government. And how does that happen? By making sure that we put in all things to work with the government, because you cannot just wake up in Nigeria and take certain decisions without either, setting up certain things or making sure that we have things in place láti fi jẹ́ kí nǹkan tí a fẹ́ ṣe. So mo kí Professor Akintoye. And that is why Professor Akintoye has always adamant and said it many times that a Yoruba nation, as at the time that we are still asking for it, that it will not be a violent or gun fighting that will eventually bring a lot of, death to our people. And that has been something we should be proud of as Yoruba people, because we don't just act, we do things with our brain. So, from there, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Oòduà, from all our kings, títí dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn oríṣiríṣi ẹni tí ó jẹ́ èèyàn gbòógì nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àtàwọn tí wọ́n wà involved, àtàwọn tí wọ́n dá sí. I know at some point there will be a lot of people that would eventually reason with what we are doing and what we have been demanding, that gbogbo incident tó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìn can still be looked into. It is not late yet, but there must be a genuinity from our politician. Ìyẹn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí the YSDM, that stands for the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, which campaigned towards the right of the Yoruba people. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí the man that many of us look forward to on a daily basis, because not of his rhetorics, not because he's a hooligan, not because he's a terrorist, not because he's a wanted man as the previous administration of President Muhammadu Buhari wanted to tag him. But eventually we're grateful once again to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for making sure that he can tell us that Igboho is not a criminal and he has every right to return back to Nigeria, just like any one of you that lives in Nigeria and those that lives outside Nigeria. Igboho does not create problem. the problem has been created in Nigeria for many years. So Igboho is not the man that is taking our lives from the terrorist activities that is happening in Nigeria. So anytime that we come out, a fẹ́ wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ Igboho, bí a rí kankan, a kàn fi put yẹn out in the record that nobody should ever believe a lot of things that you see on the social media, especially when it comes to Chief Sunday Igboho, because we know that many people want to tarnish his image. Many people want to make him look bad fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá and across the globe. But that is not going to happen. So, a kí Chief Sunday Igboho dáadáa. From there, mo kí gbogbo àwọn governors wa, and we pray that our governors will continue to work towards securing the Southwest. They have what it takes without me telling them. They had a meeting, if I remember, there was a Southwest governors meetings on insecurity, some few months back, which means that they know what is happening. The Southwest governor, if we remember, this is coming out from the dailies. This was on the 21st. I don't know when this article came out, but I'm just picking it up now. Establish Southwest Security Trust Fund now. This is coming from what was once dismissed as a distant northern crisis. Tẹ́lẹ̀, a máa ń rò pé problem tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, north nìkan ló ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀, ilẹ̀ Haúsá nìkan ni, so we can just overlook it. But right now, the situation has changed. It is no longer a Southwest problem. A northern problem. We are now witnessing in Nigeria where it is now having a big impact on the lives of our Tiawa in the Southwest. So what was once, this is a Punch editorial board, what was once dismissed as a distant northern crisis is slowly being entrenched into Nigerian economic heartland in the Southwest. The Southwest of Nigeria is the backbone of Nigeria today. If the Southwest collapse due to the insecurity persistent and continuously, we might probably not even have anything running in Nigeria again, because Southwest don't generate owó tí wọ́n fi operate in Nigeria. So we pray and hope that our governors will not sit back. They would work as quickly as possible to continue to protect and work with individuals and groups of people that have what it takes to protect our lives. The governors have the funding from the state resources, the IGR. They also have funding from the federal. That means there is enough owó tó ń wọlé sí state kankan láti fi ṣe security fún both myself, you, our foreign partners that are living in Nigeria, and many more like that. But this is not happening as much as we want to see it. So we are praying and hoping that the meeting that was held sometime last year in Ibadan, Insecurity, this is from Channels Television, November 24th, 2025, just some few days after my mother died. Insecurity, Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, and other Southwest governors met in Ibadan. This was last year. So it seems that they know that there's going to be an attack in Ogbomoso. So they were preparing for such eventualities and having the security meetings and making sure that everybody is well secured and protected inside Nigeria, Southwest. The meeting comes amid the rising insecurity. Remember, this was before the Ogbomoso attack that took place a week ago. And I can confirm officially, I don't know where or how news of Enitokpa, Mr. Michael Yudokun, has been buried, but the family has reached out again to me that they have not received the body. So I'm not sure why there's a lot of misinformation in the public domain. The brother sent me an audio from America that wọ́n ti gba òkú ẹ̀gbọ́n àwọn jáde. So maybe ẹlòmíì ni wọ́n sin, or bí ẹlòmíì ni wọ́n prepare burial fún. You must have, a body before you can bury. So we pray that, the federal government, the DSS, and all the security agency will work quickly láti rescue àwọn tó ṣì wà ní ìgbèkùn àwọn Fulani, because as much as Fulani is attacking, we also now have Igbos that are now also coming out in a disguised way to tackle the insecurity affecting us in the Yoruba land. You might be asking, how? Báwo ni ẹ ṣe ní ṣe pẹ̀lú Igbo? This is why this broadcast is happening this morning, and I want you to listen carefully. But let's complete the part of our governors. This was last year. Let's just read, briefly. Governors of Southwest States on Monday last year, November, held a closed-door meeting in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, that is now being the pointer of event happening in a week ago, Totishele, in terms of the Fulani attacked on the schools and kidnapped and beheading Mr. Michael Oyedokun Kolanfonrukewan. Others include Lucky Ayedatiwa of Ondo State. It was a full governors meeting, so every one of them were present, which is good. We want unity among the governors so that they can protect us. Ondo State governor was there as well, Ademola Adeleke. Ogun State governor, my governor was there, Dapo Abiodun. Biodun Oyebanji of Ekiti State was there as well. So this was hosted by the current governor that is facing a hefty situation of the insecurity in Oyo State, which is Seyi Makinde. So when you play back all these, you will then ask, what happened? What discussed ni Agodi at the Oyo State Secretariat in Ibadan? What was the plan? Kí làwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n prepare for? Because they have a lot of resources in their capacity. They have a lot of things that they can use to detect the movement of that our governors will not relent. Wọ́n ní jókòó tatarata láti má protect àwa tí a wà ní Southwest. So again, we pray that they will have funding available. Kidnappings on highway once considered safe, attacks on farm communities, schools invasion, violent incursions into forests, routine assault on traditional rulers, àìmọye àwọn ọba tí fara gbá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ Fulani attack. Growing criminal network exploiting porous interstate borders and evidence of a region increasing under siege. Yoruba land is now under siege. Now, yesterday, coming back to the purpose of this broadcast, which hopefully by 6:30, I should start winding it down. A news came out that, went into the social media space from Nigeria and across the globe. And that is a particular, what we can call Human Rights Association of Nigeria, or should I say Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, known as HURIWA, came out with something that a lot of Yoruba people saw it and were shocked. And anytime people come out to attack Igboho, it is now important that we go back and start looking at who are those behind it. and who are the people projecting such. Sometimes we know that Yoruba people also attack Igboho, but they are not just Yoruba people attacking Igboho. They are people that are trying to bring what Igboho has presented himself to do for Yoruba people inside the southwest of Nigeria today under the leadership and the current administration of President Bola Tinubu, because Igboho will work with President Tinubu whether they like it or not. Igboho will do exactly what he wants to do based on what President Tinubu believes also that he can do to protect Yoruba land. That does not mean that our DSS are not going to be working. Our Amotekun will not be working. OPC will not be working. Police will not be working. Every security architect will continue to work. That does not stop Igboho security network, EKUN. And let me put this clear. For record purpose, there is only one EKUN. Any other name that might want to have similar to Igboho is not known, does not have anything to do with Igboho. Officially, only EKUN. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa, EKUN yẹn nìkan ni torúkọ Olóyè Igboho. Orúkọ míì tó bá jẹ jáde, I don't want to mention any names so that we don't have a conflict of those names, is not part of Igboho's one. Èyí tí ẹ bá ti gbọ́ EKUN nìkan, EKUN nìkan ló link mọ́ Olóyè Igboho. Everybody have the right to use different names and set up anything, but ẹ má mix EKUN pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ any other platforms. Those platforms are operating within the ambience of the law on what they want to do. But EKUN yẹn nìkan, look, I have people that have used my image from my flight from London to Africa, and they're using it for their promotion of, it has nothing to do with me. So people use Igboho's picture for many things. They use Igboho's name for many things. I am the official spokesperson for Sunday Igboho. I spoke with him on a video call last night again, and I can confirm that EKUN nìkan ni ó link mọ́ Olóyè Igboho. Any money, anything that has to do with EKUN will be told, passed on to the members of the public. Nobody will use Igboho's name or similar to that brand for any other purpose. If they are using it and you're aware of that, that is their own prerogative. It has nothing to do with Igboho. Let's come back to HURIWA. HURIWA is spelled H-U-R-I-W-A. It might sound like an Hausa kind of name, but it is not Hausa. It is a name given to an organization, an NGO that was actually set up. I've gone to do a bit of background research on them. This is very important now, Timodaruko Igbo, because the Igbo agenda is also playing out in Yoruba land. It's not just the Fulani agenda. It's not just the Western agenda. We also have Igbo agenda, àwọn Igbo, that are also playing agenda inside Nigeria against Yoruba people in many ways. I will tell you about Ogun State NDLA drug bust by the Igbo people. But before we do that, let's talk about HURIWA. What is HURIWA? And what is the reason before HURIWA? It's an Igbo agenda against Yoruba people that have come out now to say in an article that came out yesterday, and I'm speaking in English so that they can hear me properly, that we are aware of your agenda. We know that it's not a Fulani Islamized agenda alone. There is an Igbo agenda in Yoruba land. Hear me very well. Look at my face. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, okay? I don't have any hatred for Igbo, but you have an agenda against Yoruba land. I am not a bigotry, but you have an agenda. You are doing not just drugs alone that has been busted many times. There's a recent one. We have evidence of a video that was busted in Ogun State that Igbo people are bringing drugs worth 460 billion naira. Tough if it destroy, Ile Yoruba. And when our children are taking drugs, they will be useless. any country where drugs has become rampant, it doesn't matter, America, UK, there's drugs in the UK as well, there's in America, that country will be destroyed within a very limited time because àwọn ọmọ yín tó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lo drug yẹn wọn ní ní any impact in the society. But I will come back to that. Let's focus on HURIWA has now come out láti sọ fún President Tinubu pé kò possible sẹ́ àwọn ò ní gbà, kò sí nǹkan tí President Tinubu bá fẹ́ ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Sunday Igboho bó fẹ́ security. Kí ni ìdí tí an Igbo writer using an NGO called HURIWA, you'll be wondering, why is Igbo linked to HURIWA? I will tell you in a minute. But let's first talk about what HURIWA put out just yesterday on Igboho. Because I spoke to Sunday Igboho on the video call yesterday, and I was asking, Baba, kí tún ni ó tún ṣẹlẹ̀? All you have asked for is security for Yoruba land. What has security for Yoruba land got to do with Igbo land? What has it got to the north? We want to secure our people. Igboho is not saying he wants to go to southeast. He's not saying he wants to go to the north. But why is an Igbo agenda against Yoruba land? I will tell you in a minute. So if you Google HURIWA and Igboho, both names together on the Google search engine, it will bring out many news of just under 16 hours. It's not even up to 24 hours yet. And the first one comes with business news. HURIWA warns against politicization of regional security. That's on Business News Nigeria. The Guardian Nigeria News. HURIWA warns against alleged plot to legitimize ethnic. Let me put that headline up so that I can get it right. Legitimize ethnic militia. So they are putting Igboho as a militia man that Tinubu wants to give a security for. That is coming from the Guardian newspaper. Then if you go into the Punch newspaper, HURIWA asked DSS, this was in March, in May. Remember that the same HURIWA was the one that told DSS to arrest Igboho over threat after Igboho spoke in his, compound about political, which we know when it comes to politics in Nigeria, people say different kind of things, it's not new. But again, HURIWA, I didn't know this now, but I now know that HURIWA agenda is not Hausa. The name might sound Hausa, but it's not. It's an Igbo agenda working behind that name, HURIWA. So, Nime, HURIWA asked DSS to arrest Igboho over threat. This was last year. But coming back to the one that we know today, the one that is currently trending, the one that is in the public domain, let's now read what HURIWA said again about Sunday Igboho from Business News Nigeria. I've given you 3 different media that have talked about it, which you can go out and also verify. But let's read from one of them. HURIWA warns against politicization of regional security outfit. This is coming from Ojo Chinama Onje. Again, this is an Igbo journalist that have put in this one out. But HURIWA is an Igbo agenda. And I'll tell you after reading this. Mumbo. The Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria has cautioned the federal government under President Bola Tinubu against granting official approval to a proposed security outfit being championed by Sunday Igboho, a Yoruba nation agitator. Do you hear that? The Human Rights Association of Nigeria has cautioned the federal government under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that gave freedom back to Igboho, that a lot of the Igbo people are not happy because Nnamdi Kanu is still in Sokoto prison for against granting official approval. So in terms of key President Tinubu under the federal government kò gbọdọ̀ gba Sunday Igboho láyè rárá láti establish security. I have said it, the police will still be there, the army will be there, the DSS will still be operating our state, but HURIWA does not want Igboho to have a security outfit. You might be asking why, but in the north, they have security outfits that also operate, even as small as certain things in the north. You cannot wear certain clothes. I think ISBA is operating as if they're like military in the north. They cut your hair, they do this. We know ISBA. We know that there is security outfit set up by Asari Dokubo in Nigeria that has also shown the security personnel fully armed to the teeth. We have seen it. HURIWA does not talk about that. We know that Tompolo gets funding from the federal government to protect the pipeline. It's a security network. Tompolo works with the army, the DSS, the Navy. The HURIWA Igbo agenda does not have a problem with that. But they have a problem with Sunday Igboho about to set up what will stop the invasion of Fulani into Yoruba land. I hope you are getting the message now. So that's why I said we are not just dealing with Igbo agenda alone. We are dealing with Fulani agenda and the Western agenda against Yoruba land. Let's read further. It's one Tinubu that such a move could fuel ethnic tension. Asari Dokubo wants is not fueling ethnic tension. ISBA in the north is not fueling ethnic tension. Tompolo one is not fueling, ethnic tension. But Igboho's one, Amotekun is still operating. What has that got to do with Igboho setting up a security outfit? We can have multiple security outfits if it is necessary to protect our lives and property. What we are saying this morning is that kini purpose of HURIWA? Why are they against Igboho setting up a security outfit? We know now that it is an Igbo agenda. I will come in a minute and explain that in just about a few seconds because this broadcast should be winding down now. So to go further, lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa pé a kú ojúmọ́, a dẹ̀ kú weekend náà. Ọba Elédùmarè á máa fi ìṣọ́ àtààbò ẹ̀ fi bo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kí a dẹ̀ máa fi gbogbo ọ̀nà. In a statement signed by Emmanuel Nwobiko, now this is the name that you want to know very well. This is the name that you want to make sure that you put in your ears. Emmanuel Nwobiko Ọmọ Igbo Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. And I'll show you his face. This is the face of the man that has been writing against Igboho. Ojuelele is an Igbo guy. He's an Igbo man. This is the face of HURIWA that is against Sunday Igboho. That is not against Asari Dokubo's one. It's not against ISBA. But it's against Sunday Igboho that wants to set up EKUN to protect Yoruba land from the invaders, the Fulani attackers, the Fulani that have created, a lot of, problem for Yoruba people. Now, I went back because in that statement, this was signed by Emmanuel Nwobiko, the group national coordinator. It's not just the group national coordinator. I'll tell you because I went on the Google and went on the Wikipedia and I've now read a little bit about Emmanuel Indozie de Santa Cruz Nwobiko. Is a Nigerian journalist of over 2 decades. He worked for 7 years as the sole senior court and judicial reporter in the nation's capital for The Guardian in Nigeria. He has maintained a consistent weekly column, The Right Watch, in a leadership in national newspaper based in Abuja. He's a philosopher by professor training. is a Nigeria human rights activist, a blogger, and a writer. He was a former Federal Commissioner of Nigeria National Human Rights Commission and an appointment made by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo. Presently, he heads the Human Rights Writer Association of Nigeria. Iwobiko is a publisher, editor in the chief of ICON of Human Rights Monthly newspaper and executive director of Paradise Fund Media Company Limited, chairman of EKUN Communication Limited, board of trustees, members of the US-funded NGO called Atlant Alliance Nigeria, and board of trustees of the Association of Africa Writers on Human Rights, People's Rights. He is also a member of the national think tank of the Nigerian Catholic Secretariat in Abuja since 2012. Iwobiko is the one behind. Iwobiko was born in Kafansha in Kaduna State. Yes, you heard it very well. Iwobiko was born not in the southeast. He was actually born in Kaduna State in Kafansha. He attended the Teachers College. His territorial college was a Catholic Cathedral Institute of Philosophy, Maryland, where he studied philosophy. He also attended Nigerian Institute of Journalism. Now, after reading all these, I went back again to find out who founded HURIWA and what year ni HURIWA jade. Again, we were able to get some information out of that. The Human Rights Writer Association of Nigeria was founded in 2007, just some few years ago. 2007, it was founded. But the key fact about HURIWA, the founder and the leader, the prominent civil society group, was established by a Nigerian activist, an Igbo man, known as Emmanuel Iwobiko, who continued to serve as its national coordinator. Now we know that we are dealing with not just Fulani, we are dealing also with an Igbo man that has come out officially to tell the federal government that kò possible say kẹ́ fún Sunday Igboho ní access láti ṣe ààbò fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá. In tí ẹ bá rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ náà, ẹ bá wa fi sínú comment section. We will also be releasing our press statement this morning against this HURIWA, that Igboho will continue to work with President Bola Tinubu and the governors of Yoruba land in the southwest of Nigeria to protect Yoruba land. It is not against the law. It is something that must be done now, and it will be done. So let us tell Emmanuel Iwobiko, because I'm not going to call you HURIWA, Emmanuel Iwobiko, that is behind all these, that you have failed already, and your agenda to try to use your media to portray Igboho as somebody that he is not, would definitely be stopped. So the press statement will be released before noon this morning on the 21st from my studio here in London against what HURIWA said yesterday. Please, anytime Tebatiri press statement here, let us share it wide across the globe, because we know that they are not just pushing against all this internally, they are trying to portray Igboho internationally. That is not who he said he is. So Emmanuel is aware that Yoruba land has been captured, Yoruba land has been taken from many sources of insecurity, but he preferred to stop it using his own media to try to bring it down, and we will not accept that. But just before I go, at just about a few more minutes, I want us to listen to what happened in Ogun State some few days ago when the NDLA, and we are grateful to the NDLA for the great work they are doing. According to the news that came out just on the 20th, which is just, few days ago. Today is the 23rd, so 3 days ago. And we have a video evidence of such. Breaking news: Igbo behind 480 billion metal cartel. The NDLEA busted Igbo Mexican drug ring in Ogun State Forest. As we are dealing with Fulani forest attack, we are also must deal with the Igbo that are also using our forest for drug operation. was exposed deadly plot against Nigerian youth. The NDLA has uncovered a massive drug cartel operating from Abidagba Forest in Ogun State, in the southwest. They are not operating the metal in their Enugu, Anambra, in the southeast, but they are operating it in the, right here inside our own domain. They could have operated their drug lord or drug cartel in their own southeast region, but they prefer Yoruba land because Yoruba land is soft touch for every one of them. Yoruba land is the place that they want to make money and destroy our lives. We don't have any problem with Igbos operating in Yoruba land because we're still one Nigeria, but we are going to be against Igbo people agenda to use drugs to destroy our people. We will talk about it. So the NDL has uncovered a massive drug cartel operating from Abidagba Forest, Ogun State, led by Igbo Kingpin, Anochi Innocent, and is mostly Igbo network with 3 Mexican collaborators. The cartel was producing methamphetamine worth over 480 billion naira, enough to destroy countless lives and families and communities. That is what the Igbos have been doing in Yoruba land. That is what Igbo have done in Yoruba land. And I want us to just watch the video so that ní sọ pé àmúlà ọ̀rọ̀ ni mo mú wá, because I have to end the broadcast now. The day has started already, and it's Koiki Media bringing the one closer to your doorstep. Please do not download our videos and put it on your platform. Make sure you watch it alone here and share it to others. Just the link. If you're not on our WhatsApp group, ask for it. We will give it to you. So that is the video there that I want to show you right there. And this is it. Let's take out, let's remove the sound because that might have a copyright. I don't know. So if you look at this video, this is how Igbo have been operating in Ogun State, trying to destroy not just Ogun State, because the drugs will go to every part of Yoruba land. Maybe it will go to Southeast, I don't know. This is how they were busted. I want Igbo Kingpin operating cartel. Can you see that? These are not Hausa people. These are not Fulani people. These are now Igbo people using their own agenda, just like HURIWA is doing as well. So Moki NDLA continue to work very hard so that we can continue to take them out. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ operate pẹ̀lú wọn tẹ́jọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ túbọ̀ máa operate pẹ̀lú wọn, okay? Very soon, ọwọ́ máa tẹ gbogbo yín. Ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń ṣe àbọ̀dè fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá, ọwọ́ máa mú yín, ilẹ̀ dẹ̀ máa yọ̀ yín. Ọkùnrin ni, obìnrin ni. It doesn't matter how hungry, how tough Nigeria is. Do not join criminality against your people. I understand Nigeria is tough. I understand things are not working properly. But now, your own is to make sure that you do not work against your people. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ilẹ̀ máa yọ̀ yín láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. Orúkọ mi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo yín mọ̀ sí Koiki Media. Thank you so much. I have to go now until we catch again. From the update, the family of the late Michael Oyedokun, àwọn ìtí sí ẹ̀gbọ́n àwọn ìtí sí bàbá àwọn nítorí pé wọ́n ìtí rí bọ́dì. So I don't know what we are going to do, but we would eventually, get to where we will continue to move further. Thank you so much this morning. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. No other media as it is bringing it closer to you. There will be more news from my staff and my team later on. Make sure you keep an eye on them. Thank you so much. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn tí ẹ bá wa darapọ̀ mọ́ láàárọ̀ yìí, kí Ọba Elédùmarè kó jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kí a túbọ̀ jọpẹ́ fúnra wa. Ẹ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín. Tí bá ní kí n máa dárúkọ, ní tètè kúrò mọ́ lórí ètò. Aago méje dẹ̀ ti fi lọ lù ní àárọ̀ yìí, and we have a lot of other things that we have to do. Thank you so much on the TikTok, on the Twitter space. We appreciate you. continue to support, continue to pray for this platform so that we can remain strong. Continue to also do what you can do in your own little capacity so that the agendas of those that wants to destroy Yoruba land will never come to prosper. Thank you so much. God bless all our kings. We will continue to work with them. We have a lot to do. We will also continue to work with every one of them. Every agenda against Yoruba land will be destroyed. Lashedumari. Thank you for all those that have given us the roses and those that are supporting with the super chat. And if you want to support, remember, it is all voluntary, as we say. Koiki Media, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ireo. Bye for now.